Hi guys, it's Miss Stacy. So you know that this week is Veterans Day, and so for Veterans Day we've been talking about things that were red, white, and blue, right? Because our flag is red, white, and blue. So for today, for our OT video, we're going to look at just some different objects and different things that are those colors, red, white, and blue. And we're going to talk about different ways we would use our hands to use those things. So after you watch the video, maybe at your house, you can go and your parents can help you find things that are red or white or blue, and you can practice using your hands in different ways to use them. All right? So we're going to start with something that I know lots of you like. It's called a wrapper snapper, right? So to use the wrapper snapper, we have to use two hands at once. We grab it with our whole hand, and we pull. It makes a cool noise. So we grab it with our two hands, and we can pull, and then we can push. Sometimes somebody else might hold it with one hand, and we use one hand and grab it and pull. So that's something red, and we practice using our two hands to hold it. So let's see what else we have. Here's something that's blue. We're going to hold it again with all our fingers, and we're going to shake, 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 shake. This is called a maraca. So we hold it with our hand, or we could hold it with this hand, and we're going to shake. So we shake our maraca, and it makes noise, and that was blue. Let's see. The next thing we have, look at this guy. He's making a funny face. This is red, and he has white eyeballs. And it's a ball, but when we squeeze it, let's see what happens. We made a really loud noise. So you could try to squeeze it. You could hold it with one hand, and you could squeeze. Or you can hold it with two hands like this with your thumbs and your fingers and squeeze. Or you could try putting it on the table, and you could put your hand on top. It's a little harder, but you can squeeze that way. So this ball is red and white, and when we squeeze it with our hands, it makes a funny noise. You guys know what these are? There's a white bowl and a white spoon. So when we eat, we hold the spoon. Usually people hold it like this. So it's resting on this finger right here, and you're holding it with your thumb and your index finger, right? But it's okay if you hold it other ways. Sometimes people hold it like this. Sometimes people hold it like this. Whatever way is easiest, as long as your hand is on it. But you know what we do with it, right? Our bowl has our food. Our spoon goes down into the bowl and then up to our mouth. And then we don't throw it. We put it back in the bowl. So it goes in the bowl, to our mouth, back to the bowl while we're holding it with our hand. Sometimes we have to use our other hand to hold the bowl so it doesn't move, right? So those were two things that were white. Also over here, this is blue. Do we know what this is? This is tape. So there's an end to the tape, and sometimes we have to use one finger and pick off the end like this, and then we use two fingers to hold the tape, and we pull. So one hand holds the roll of tape, and one hand pulls. It rolls, and when we get as much as we want, then we move our hand and hold it closer. We hold this with our two fingers. This is the fun part. We go rip. And then we have a piece of tape. So we could tape something. Maybe I have some paper and I want to tape it to the table so it doesn't move. Look at that. So what did I do? I took my tape. I held it with two hands so it was straight. I decided where to put it. I used my eyes and looked. I pushed it down, and then I pushed my hand over it, and now it's on the table. So now I have my white paper, and my blue tape is holding it. So what can we do with this paper? Do you know what this is? This is a red marker, but it has a cap on it. We can't write like this, nothing happens. So we got to use our two hands again. We use one hand to hold the cap, and one hand to hold the marker, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, pull, and it came off. Now we don't want to throw the cap. We either push the cap on the end, or we put it down on the table, And now we have this marker. So usually you hold it kind of like the spoon, right? You hold it with these two fingers and then it rests on your middle finger. But sometimes people hold it different ways, and that's okay, right? Sometimes people hold it with all their fingers. You don't want to hold it with all your fingers like this, because that's kind of hard. To write like that, it's not very comfortable. So if you try to do that, then we help you, right? We help you to turn your hand around and hold it like this, or like this. And then when you have your marker, we can make some red lines. We'd have red, white, and blue. We could go down, 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 or we could go across, 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 and now what? Our marker's all done. We don't want it to get dried up, so we gotta find that cap again. So I'm gonna hold the marker like this again. I'm gonna hold the cap, and we're gonna go put them together and go 1, 2, 3, push. And sometimes if that's too hard, we'll start it and then we put it on the table, right? And we push on top like this. Push until we hear it click. Pretty cool. So that was our red marker, our blue tape, and our white paper. There's some other things we can do with our paper too. So these are blue and these are scissors. So I'm going to use my red marker again. I'm going to make a line on the paper. Remember, I'm going to use 2 hands and pull the cap off. I'm going to make a big line down. I'm going to put my cap back on. I'm going to cut. So we have different kinds of scissors that we use at school, right? So not everybody uses scissors like this, but if you do, you put your thumb in the little hole, and usually you put 2 fingers in the bottom hole, right? Your thumb's always on top. You hold your paper with one hand, you hold your scissors with one hand, and you go open, close, open, close, open, close. Can you guys see the line? Open, close, open, close, open, close, until we cut. So now we have 2 pieces of paper. So we use the scissors and paper. I think we have more red, white, and blue things still. I think we do. How about, what is this? This is red. I bet it's going to make a cool noise if we shake it. So you can hold this all different ways, right? It doesn't really matter how you hold it. I probably would hold it like this with all my fingers. And ready? We're going to go shake, shake, shake. That's a pretty cool noise. Or I could bang it on my other hand. I could bang it on the table. So that's red, and it makes some nice noises when we hold it. I have something else back here that's red, and it's big. So sometimes things are too big to hold with just one hand. If I try to hold this with one hand, it's really hard. I can't grab it. But if I use my 2 hands, then I can hold it, and I can pick it up, and I could throw it. If I had a friend, I could play catch with them, or I could kick it to them, right? So sometimes you have to use 2 hands together to hold things. So both of my hands are holding it, and they're pushing it a little bit so that it doesn't fall out of my hands. So that's how we hold our red ball, with 2 hands. Let's see. Oh, here's something kind of funny. I gotta open up the package. This is white with a little bit of black on it. You know what this is? This is from Halloween. It's an eyeball. This isn't really something you have to use in a certain way, but it's fun to put your fingers on because it's all squishy. So I usually use just 2 fingers at first, and I feel it with my 2 fingers on either hand. You could put it inside your hand, but then it gets kind of stuck to you. Ew! I have an eyeball on my hand. You can roll it around. It's pretty cool. Alright, so we'll say bye to our eyeball. We get a few more things here. This is blue. It's a little massager. So you hold it in one hand, and then you roll it. You roll it on your arm. You could roll it on your leg or on your feet. You could roll it on your hand. If you really wanted to, and it was just yours, you could roll it on your face. But you're holding it with one hand, and then you're moving it back and forth to make it roll. Let's see. So here we have red and blue. These are pop beads. So we're going to hold one hand on each bead, and what do you think we're going to do? We're going to pull. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, pull, and then 1, 2, 3, push. So both of our hands are working together. It wouldn't work if we just had one hand. What are we going to do? We need two hands. So our two hands together, they pull and they push. I'm going to do two more things, all right? You guys know what this is? It's a bottle of glue, and it's white. And for this, you got to use your two fingers. So you're going to take this cover, and you're going to turn it, and that opens up the glue. And then you would turn it upside down, and you would squeeze it. Let's see if you can see it coming out, the white glue coming out. We're going to squeeze, and a little bit of white glue comes out. So I'm using my hand like this to squeeze, and then when we're all done, we turn it back the right way. We use these two fingers again, and we turn it back like this to close it, because we don't want to have a big mess with glue everywhere, right? I'm going to fold that so our glue doesn't get all over everything. Alright, the last thing I'm going to show you is red and white. Some people think it's bad luck to do this inside, but I think we're okay. So this is an umbrella. It's a really big umbrella. So if we want to open this, there's a few things we have to do. There's some straps on it. See this strap? So I'm going to use my two fingers to undo the Velcro. So there's one strap. Here's another one. So two fingers, I'm going to grab the Velcro and pull. Alright, so our Velcro is off. Here's our big umbrella. Alright, so there's a part underneath. Can you guys see? It's a little bit hard to see. But we're going to squeeze it and push it up. You see my hand pushing up, 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 up. Look, I'm pushing it up until it clicks. You see our big umbrella? Whoa, it's huge. So if it was raining, we'd be nice and dry, right? If we want to put it down again, we're going to use our thumb to push, and now we're going to pull this down. Now our umbrella is closed. We're going to put those straps around it. Remember these straps? So I need two hands. I need one to hold my umbrella. My other one is going to take the strap and go all around. It's going to keep going around, keep going around. And I'm going to push the Velcro together. So I'm going to go push. And then last part, one more strap. It's going to go all around. We're going to take our Velcro and we're going to push. All right. So we found lots of things that were the colors of our flag, right? Red, white, and blue. And we talked about all different ways we could use our hands to use them. Because we can't always just do one thing with our hands, right? We can't just hold everything like this with one hand. We got to use our hands in different ways to use different things. So maybe you have some of these things that we showed in your house, or maybe you can look around your house and find things that are red or white or blue, and then figure out how you would use your hands to use them. All right, so have fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye.